All right, so this is going to be a little bit of a different video. We're going to obviously discuss on if Dokkan is worth playing, and it's gonna it's gonna be a little bit opinionated, and then I'm gonna try my best not to be like biased, right? I'm gonna do my very best to basically check out everything and kind of discuss everything, both the good and the bad. And we're gonna do a little recap of like what Dokkan is, and then just in case you don't know what Dokkan is, and you're like wondering if you should play the game, right? Which is entirely possible. Like maybe you're a Legends player and you're wondering if you should play Dokkan because you've been hearing about all this stuff. So for like a minute or two, I'm just gonna basically recap what Dokkan is, and then we're gonna go ahead and talk about if you should actually play it, as well as looking up some comments that I did a post earlier on, and even looking at something that Minatos told me himself. So we're gonna just go ahead and talk about what it is. So if you don't know what it is, Dokkan is basically a bubble popping game in a sense where you take Dragon Ball characters and you go into these events or these stages, and you kind of just have to like make sure that everybody is linking up with each other, making sure that like leader skills and all of that, like people under people who are a power above Super Saiyan, you know, like anywhere between Super Saiyan 2 to all the way to Super Saiyan blue, all of that stuff, right? Like it's just like it's weird things like that. It's very hard to explain in terms of that. Basically, you build characters around a certain team, and you do your best to make sure that like everybody has the categories similar to like how, like I was saying, Legends does, for example. You do it basically around that, but instead of the Z ability being on everybody and boosting everybody, it's just the first unit, uh, which does definitely help in my opinion. But other than that, we can go ahead and just like look in really quickly, and then I can kind of just like um, just like I said, talk about it really quickly. So as you can see here, we go into a stage, and then I'm just gonna do something like this, and we pop bubbles. You usually want to pop the same bubbles in a which whatever the color is of the unit. So you can see like the rings and all that stuff is like that. And then after that, if you have, depending on how much key you have, is what animation it will play. If you have 12 key, it'll play like a super attack, and then if you have the 18 key for units that are LRs, it will be a second super attack, which is almost always more powerful than if you were to get the 12 key, right? But I don't need to get, you know, the more fights. You guys get the general premise, right? That's the general idea. Is you pop bubbles, you win, and hopefully your bigger number is better than their bigger number, right? But yeah, that's basically the gist of it. And then there's also the summon mechanics, which I'm just gonna actually no, I'll save that. I'm gonna discuss that as a whole later on, but we'll just say that there is some summonable, you know, stuff in the game. It is obviously a gacha game. You do have to pull a lot of these new units. There are better times and worse times to do some of these summons. There's better and worse units to do, as every single gacha game. I would say Dokkan is one of the more better ones, I would say, because I have played a couple of gachas in the past, and Dokkan's the only one that's really kept me coming back, I would say. But again, that's more for later when we do talk about stuff like that. But let's go ahead and go over Twitter, because let's go ahead and like just like I said, discuss Dokkan as a whole. All right, now that we are over at Twitter, I just asked the question. I said, for anyone who plays Dokkan, what makes the game worth it and enjoyable for you? I'm gonna make a video about it, and then we got a ton of replies, a lot of replies, like just an insane amount of replies. Anyways, so one of the people who I've actually collabed with in the past, Falky, I hope I pronounced that right, saying good units, even if a character isn't that hype, seeing perform in events is really fun to me. This is why it hurts so bad when they mess up EZAs and new releases. It's like, why even release the card if you make them useless? That is very true. That's very true. I think that for sure. When a character is very good, just seeing them do like big number always activates the neurons in my head. It makes me go, yeah, yippee, you know, like that's awesome. Uh, but it does also make me feel a little bit sad knowing that like some of the animation teams, um, ignore that. That's my girlfriend. 1 second. All right, sorry. I just had to explain to her because I put like the like timer. Anyways, um, so like I was saying, it like hurt seeing sometimes like the animation team put in a lot of effort when it's just not very, I guess, reciprocated in terms of kit. Like for example, what's a unit that had really amazing animations but just was really terrible? I guess Tech Bardock. Tech Bardock was like insanely bad in my opinion. You could make all of the arguments you want, but I knew that he was going to age horribly since day one, unfortunately. And he was really disappointing at 5%, unfortunately. But yeah, it does hurt for sure. Going in absolute debt and regretting life, hoping to pull a PNG. Very true, very true. I know. Yeah, he made this as a quote as well, which is really funny. One of my best friends introduced me to the game in 2015, and I was like, sure, let's do it. And I kept going ever since. It has brought me a lot of joy to be able to grind the game, and has gotten me through times where I have almost had a depressive chapter, almost ended it. I'm through it. The game now has given me a passion project to do YouTube and made me connect with so many other people, which was wonderful. Let me go ahead and just say that as well. I for me personally, the best part about this game is just being able to have others communicate and like kind of connect with it as well. People are just always going to be horrible in communities for sure. Sorry, let me rephrase that. There's always going to be horrible people in communities for sure. It's just every single community is always just going to have that one loser, you know, in it who just it is just very toxic or very bad and puts the community in a very bad light. But honestly, I've met a lot of people and I've been able to I make a little name for myself in the Dokkan community, just a small name like that, and it is really nice to just be able to have that, and it from my experience too, it has given me the passion as well to do YouTube and I probably wouldn't have started YouTube without it. So for that one of those reasons is definitely what I agree with. It's just it helped with the passion project of YouTube. But yeah, the ability to grind the game and do something like as a time waster has been good. Gambler, so true. For me, seeing busted units crush content all makes it fun. That's very true. Like seeing some of these newer things and seeing the animations and being like, Gogeta blue punching at an opponent and then the screen like shattering and exploding and then you doing a huge number and then Gogeta like pops his vest a little bit and then does like a huge attack stat or the enemy just loses. You're like, man, that's insane, right? I play because it's fun, a simple game, and team building aspect of it is always fun too. Also because it's a Dragon Ball game and I love Dragon Ball. Exactly. I feel like that's exactly my opinion too, is that I love it especially because of Dragon Ball. Which I saw a comment later on about it and we'll again talk about that as well. As somebody who's been playing since pre-anniversary, I've enjoyed team building to beat some of the toughest events. A vivid memory of mine is pulling Tech Perfect Cell and being able to nuke Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Also the fact that I can basically watch the anime now through Dokkan. I'm going to be honest, there is a lot of stuff that I learned through Dokkan that I did not know before because of Dokkan, right? Being able to do that and seeing like some of the anime in Dokkan definitely does help and like knocks some memory back into you of like, wait a minute, I remember this. Like seeing in Super Saiyan 3 Goku and then being reminded of like that insane transformation where he like powered down to then power up. Like it was funny and it was really cool. And then like when he went Super Saiyan 3 and all that, and then I remember like watching AMVs on all that and like playing that when those characters did come out. It was really funny. But yeah, that like the anime aspect of it is pretty nice. Grinding stories for random free to play characters. That's fair. Like a lot of the free to play characters have really nice animations, and while they might not have the best of kits most of the time, it is nice to still see some of these characters that you probably wouldn't see otherwise in like any other game. Like, how often, other than like fighters, right, are you gonna see like a Yamcha, like in a Dragon Ball Z game that's actually usable? The answer is never. The answer is never. I started a game because it's Dragon Ball, but I like the game play back then, first Annie, but didn't play much because I had no phone, and then I used my dad's phone, so I had to play until like fourth Annie. That was the point where I played more and made some videos, and after I re-rolled. Re-rolling, thumbs down. Everybody downvote this comment. Oh, I'm kidding. Yeah, I would probably say fourth year anniversary was when I got a lot more serious about Dokkan for sure. I love Super Saiyan 4s, and again, I with the person who had GT as like one of my fondest memories, it was nice seeing like Super Saiyan 4 Goku again, especially since most of the games that I played didn't really have Super Saiyan 4 Goku in it for sure. More serious answer, I've been playing since gambling. Right under it, gambling. You'll love to see it. More serious answer, I've been playing since 2016, and my enjoyment has been dwindling since especially after 2022, after I went way too hard on grinding and burnt myself out. It's a pretty simple game where I don't have to put myself time to lock in. Also, I'm sure you saw my 20 Gogeta Blues and Beast Gohans. I did see that. It was crazy. I think that's fair. The thing with Dokkan is it's very simplistic for sure. The core game mechanics are never going to change, no matter how often they're going to add new mechanics. It's always going to be unit slot 1 have good defense, good. If unit slot 2 hopefully have good defense, and unit slot 3 hopefully either support or have good defense, right? But yeah, that's about it. But it could definitely get very repetitive, for sure. Gambling, that is one of the things that I will talk about that is the downsides of Dokkan. It's just that, like, I'm gonna be honest, I think that it might actually have like started a lot of well, it's just gacha games as a whole. I think the gambling aspect of it is a little bit evil, to say the least, just because it's just like it fuels that flame of literal gambling, and it definitely can lead to addiction for sure, and it can be very hard to kind of like snap yourself out of it. It's even worse in my opinion, because eventually those units that you gamble to get will be unusable. So it's a constant feedback loop of needing to get the new unit, right? Oh, there's only been like one TUR, and that's like Tech Ultimate Gohan, who has been usable for like multiple years. But every unit has probably had the lifespan of around a year and a half, I want to say. I'd probably say that's around the lifespan of most of these units, if even a year. There's some that just age immediately on release, but you got to be careful for those units here, right? I like the collection aspect of it. It's very true. Seeing, like I said, the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, Super Saiyan Goku, all those characters and all that is really nice. I do like the collection aspect of it as well. Even though it unfortunately ties into the the thing of the gambling. Honestly, just because it's a very simple gacha game that doesn't require time alongside it being Dragon Ball. Very true. It's very simple and it's very easy, and it's not something you have to like spend the whole day doing, right? I would say Legends is one that for sure is a little bit more complicated, even though it's not like the most. It's not like super complicated compared to Dokkan, but it is a little bit of a complicated game, especially like when you're starting out, because it's a lot of information to give to a new person, and it's the reason why I've had a very, very bad time with making that beginner's guide, because it's so hard to like explain some of the things sometimes, especially to somebody like who might not know any of what you're talking about. It's very hard to explain. It's like trying to teach a person the color blue. How do you even explain that? It's a sky. Okay. Whatever you say, man. Believe it or not, the free-to-play characters and unique events. That's fair. That's fair. Being able to like fight up against like the legendary Goku event and going up against every single stage of Goku, all the ways from literally base form to UI is pretty insane for sure. Or even base form to Super Saiyan 4 full power. Like it's cool. It's cool for sure. And then obviously, like I was saying, free to play characters. You get to see a lot of these characters that you don't necessarily see too often, and you get to see like them have like these really cool animations and all that stuff. It is fair. Everything protect Gohan. Yeah, so true, so true. Where are you? Where are you? He's got to be in here somewhere. There's one person who is just like Tech Gohan. I know, I always like to make fun of him, but I don't know where he is. If we find him, we'll find him. I started this game since the day it dropped, and I've seen the community go from genuine conversations to insults and rage bait 24/7. Honestly, the only thing keeping me from lurking in the shadows is the game overall itself being chill and relaxing. That's the thing. I even responded to it, and I put it's mostly just people with controversial opinions and rage baits. It's the attention that they get, right? The more attention that you bring to those people, and you're like, man, look at this guy, like this guy's an idiot, you know. The more quotes, comments, and all that stuff that you do, the more unfortunate it like fuels that cycle of just giving them the attention they want and kind of making them want to get that attention even more, right? So if you truly do not see a person that you like, I will say just either mute them or block them. Don't interact with them, like under any circumstance. Even if they're being an idiot, just don't do it, because it's not worth it at the end of the day. It's just not. You're giving into that cycle of hatred. But yeah, I think that, like I said, the community does have some outliers of people who are just insanely annoying some of the times, or insanely toxic, or insanely rage baity, or just like wanting attention. You could definitely tell, and I think that for sure it's just a thing of like I said, you just have to ignore them. I think there are more good people than bad people in the Dokkan community, and I think that it is very easy to forget that sometimes. Good units and fun events to play. The animations and music are really good too. OSTs is an amazing reason why to play Dokkan, because it has some perfection, some peak, some you know. I still listen to the OSTs while working out, because man, the music is good. There's been people I see, I get recommended YouTube videos all the time. It's like metalhead watches Dokkan OSTs. I'm literally playing Dokkan OSTs in the background. I don't even have it playing in the background for me right now, but I know for sure a fact that I'm going to put that Dokkan OSTs in the background for sure, right? So yeah, it makes sense. But I always get recommended those videos where it's like I said, it's metalhead watching this for the first time. The Legends player listens to Dokkan OSTs. It makes sense. Let me see. Fuel my summoning addiction and give me animations of my favorite moments of characters. Fair. Again, it literally is an addiction for sure. But the animations is a nice aspect. And like I said, you probably won't see these characters otherwise. And even you can get some what if moments, which we'll probably talk about later, because I think that there was one thing that somebody said too. It's not enjoyable, and I play because I hate myself. So true. No, I'm kidding. They're very friendly and opinion accepting community. And you know, I accept this opinion, I'll be emailing you a brick soon. So true. But yeah, I feel like having an opinion in the Dokkan community can definitely get you, like I said, at some point it's just better to block these people, because they are very just stupid, right? It's not worth it to play and not enjoyable. If you want to have that opinion, it's entirely okay too. The game's not for everyone. I like the unit. I just use the units I like, even if the community says they're bad. I just want to have fun with the game. For example, I take an old unit that isn't usable in content and juice them up with support. I like legendary events, maybe in a red zone stage that's not as hard. That's fair. I mean, literally we have like 7 stages. If you want to take SCR Goku and Gohan, which I've been seeing people talk about a little bit more about recently, if you want to take them into like Janemba, red zone, You know, like, go ahead, man. Like, you can do stuff like that. You can see these guys whoop in situations that you want them to whoop, right? Um, it does feel nice, you know, seeing, like I said, seeing these animations of like Goku doing the Kamehameha and charging up, and then like teleporting to the floor and then bam, you know, it's cool. 1 second. All right. Seeing animations. Okay, no, we already. No, wait, yeah, no, that's different. Seeing animations and being difficult content with your limited resources and units with strategies. What makes me hate this game is when it shafts me hard and RNG is terrible, and when they do the Bardock units. That's fair. For whatever reason, they definitely do have like a hatred for some units sometimes. If you're a Goten, or if you are a Gotenks fan, you have been starving since day like 300. They made like one good Goten and Trunks card, and then everything after that has been utterly and absolutely awful. And they have continuously made Goten and Trunks cards that are always continuously and just awful, right? Yeah, it just sucks. But the animations are like the difficult content is nice. It is really cool to have challenges sometimes. Definitely say the community. It feels like we all come together once the sync happens. That's understandable. I think that when we do come together as a community and we do have a voice, like just everyone, not just one person, just everyone. When we've seen it for stuff like Age-O Gohan and Cell, we've seen it for stuff like Worldwide Download celebrations, and we've seen it for things like that, right? Well, we just talk as a people, right? And we're not like Global versus JP. Global got this and JP got that, which we constantly see. When it's just the community working together, it really is and truly is a nice thing to see. Characters in general make me enjoy the game. 9th year anniversary bosses will make me love the game even more, but what I love most is difficult missions because it makes me try harder and strategize what I need to do to complete the missions. That's good. That is a good reason. Yeah. I like I said, challenges are always nice to have in the community and just have in the game, because it makes it where you're not just going to do the same thing over and over again, right? And it makes it where you can try some of these older units out and try to see what you can do. Oh yeah, and then here's a Dokkan Originals thing that I was talking about like 3 or 4 minutes ago. It's going to be a little bit of a long one, but we'll go ahead and read this out. I've been playing since 6 months before 2nd anniversary, introduced by my family. When the Super Saiyan Force dropped in June, global player. That was single-handedly the coolest thing I've ever seen. Also, looking back at it, the banner arts looked fine. The insane hype at the time was enough to keep me latched onto the game. Come like 2 months later in Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, my favorite character. 2 months later, after some of my other top 10 characters, and pulling Gogeta on my first single was the thing that never fade from memory. It was nothing about the core mechanics that kept me in the game. It was mostly the memories I made, as Dragon Ball Super and Dokkan are literally my childhood. UI Goku dropping so shortly after anime was so fire. It took years. I took a few years break after getting horribly shafted on the 5th year anniversary and extreme burnout, and only returned for anniversaries and worldwide download celebrations. I still play my global sometimes, but I made a JP account for the 6th year anniversary and now main that account and I actively play the game after Insane Anime luck. It's the hype of the releases and the memories that keep me attached in the end, not the game mechanics. I meant 9th year anniversary luck for JP, 22,500 stones on the banners, 100% Gogeta, 79% Beast, 69% Broly, and Krillin, and 18 in Gammas, and Golden Freezer are 55%. That's insanely well, for sure. 100% Gogeta is insane as well for 22,050 stones. It's literally like just getting 5 Gogetas and 2,250 stones is insane. To then pull everything else in that same amount of stones is I can only hope. Can I have that happen to me? But yeah, that is understandable. Like I said, I have a lot of memories attached to the game as well. That and seeing the animations is definitely what keeps me over the game mechanics, because at the end of the day, it's very simple. The animations, especially the Dokkan Originals, they are just super cool, and I love to see other enemies I like do the same kind of thing. That is a big point that Dokkan is definitely trying to do more and more, and they are showing that they are 100% fine with doing stuff like that too. We've seen it for, what was like one of the first ones that did it off the top of my head. Dokkan Original Tech Super Saiyan Gohan and Goku. When we saw the animations, and I was like, Goku and Gohan working together? What? Goku's alive? That's insane, right? It was cool. It was cool seeing stuff like that happen. And then we get S Tier Future Gohan, who has it where Goku and Piccolo give him that extra boost that he needs to defeat the androids when they're winning, and he won. It's good. It makes it like, obviously Future Gohan was supposed to fall there, but it makes it like the what if, and it gives it a happy ending to a character that unfortunately did not get it. You know, it's cool seeing stuff like that happen, of like, what if that did happen, right? Big number go burst. So true, so true. The animations easily available and grindable stuff. Very fair, very fair. The animations are very, very cool. Seeing cool animations for characters I like. Very, very true. I love gambling and Dragon Ball. And then what does the comment say? For real though, I've been playing since pre-first anniversary and I was a good time waster, and now and then it's really cool to see animations I love recreated or just whole new ones. Plus I love gambling. Again, this is a really bad point, and that you're gonna see a lot. It says a lot of that stuff too, because it's true. It really does fuel an addiction, and it's not a good point about Dokkan. The animations, the OSTs, very fair. I love OSTs, characters and animations and animations. A lot of people are saying animations, and Dokkan has really aged animation wise for sure. Oh, there it is. Tech Gohan. I hate you, Luca, and I will never make a Tech Gohan video unless he gets easy aid. Dragon Ball cool, and the community is so awesome, and I have no friends. So true, so true. The events and characters being animated similar to the anime and Baton Battle. There, the Baton Battle cards, and seeing like a cutesy art style of, like, official cutesy art styles of the characters is really nice. Like, where else am I going to see a tech, or I shouldn't say tech, I should just say Super Saiyan Goku and like a chibi art style, right? You're not gonna really see it anywhere else. You might see it in fighters, but definitely not to the extent that Dokkan's doing it. Dokkan's still pumping that out. And then going in absolute debt, regretting life he already put that. We already talked about that. It really is a thing of like, you need to watch out if you do play this game. So let's go ahead and just, I've kind of realized like a little bit throughout the video that I'm gonna probably have to do it a certain way. Let me go get Minatos' comment real quick. All right, here we go. So I was just asking him, Minatos, like what makes Dokkan worth it for him, and he just told me that what makes him come back is the love for the series and the ease of the game. But it's like stuff that we've seen literally just everywhere, right? We keep seeing that over and over and over again, where that point is made, where it's just like the ease of the game, even if it gets rough at times. I enjoy talking about it and making content on it, and it's fair. It's like I said, it's very fair thing to say. I think that it truly is just a really good easy game to get into. It's going to take a little bit of difficulty at first just to get the mechanics down, but once you do, it's like, it's just going to snap in your head one day of how easy it is, right? But let me go back, and let's go back to Twitter, right? And I'm going to tell you guys something. Actually, let me pull up my Dokkan account. 1 second. Let me pull this up. All right, back to the game, right? Oh yeah, let me make sure my notifications is off. 1 second. All right, we're good. Anyways, so I started, and I always talk about this. We can go ahead and just go to acquired and just go all the way to the bottom. So as you can see, I started with Tech Gogeta. He was my first ever, well, second ever Dokkan Fest, but he is easily one of my favorite ones, even with the to be released leader skill and all that stuff, because I didn't know at the time what any of that stuff meant. But for me personally, Dokkan throughout the years has just been a very amazing experience, and even with the ups and downs of some of the community stuff, I feel like a lot of the things has gotten better over time. For example, if you're a global player, you remember the big times where global just wasn't able to be played at all because for whatever reason that with their spaghetti code, they broke the game beyond belief and made it where if you attempted to do a stage and you used items, the game would like explode on itself. And then not only that, but certain stages were just literally unplayable. So the game was literally a fraction of what it was. It probably made a lot of people turn away, understandably so. But past that, like, or since that moment, I feel like the game has gotten insanely better. Like, dude, look at this stuff. Like, when are you ever gonna see this? And we can just go ahead and look at the SSRs for it too. It's like, oh, it's peak. It's peak, right? It's peak. It truly is. It truly is peak. But yeah, when discussing Dokkan, I feel like something to think about is like, let's go ahead and talk about the bad part of it. Like I said, I do think that it definitely does fuel an addiction, and it can get very, very bad at times, and you do have to keep yourself in check with some of this stuff, for sure. Because it could get very, very insanely rough, and you need to definitely keep that in mind, that you do have to go into it with I'm not going to spend any money in this game at all. If I want stones, I'm gonna have to grind them. But like, if you're, oops, I keep clicking on the wrong things. Like, if you just get past that part, you can get some like really cool moments and seeing some of the stuff that you haven't really seen like anywhere else. Like God Goku being the ¡1 best unit in the game. But my favorite form is this, right? Like, look at the backgrounds. you can completely understand stuff like that, right? But yeah, like over time, just seeing a lot of these animations and seeing a lot of these things of like, okay, this is the end of GT, you know, like this is the end of Z. This is this, like I said, the what if moments. It truly has been like just an amazing experience, and I want to take this time to talk about not only that but the community. If I'm assuming if you're watching this and you made it this far, that you're either really interested in the topic or you're really interested in just, you know, my content as a creator, basically. Let me rephrase that. You're really interested in like the content that I make, right? And I think that like community has been a very important thing to me since day one, and I couldn't have made it here, and I couldn't have made it where I am without Dokkan. It's a game that has brought me a lot of friendships and a lot of people that I've met, and a lot of experiences and a lot of happy moments. And like I said, there is some evil to it because at the end of the day, it's a gacha game. But looking past that and looking at, you know, playing with friends and summoning with friends and doing all this stuff together and going up against each other and doing races and stuff like that, and kind of creating our own things, you know, seeing how this unit compares to this unit and being like team this or like team that and having a healthy discussion. It's nice. And, you know, being able to talk with somebody, being like, oh, if you're having trouble with this is the thing that works for me. It's nice. And even for myself personally with content creation, it's a good feeling being able to kind of like talk and have somebody actually care and listen. And I think, like I said, without Dokkan, that wouldn't have been a thing. But even gameplay wise, it's just been such an enjoyable experience over the years, and such a nice thing to do over the years. And in a way, I have to thank the game for that, because without the game, I wouldn't have had you guys to talk to. I wouldn't have 1,000 subscribers right now. I'm not saying that as like a brag. I'm saying like I wouldn't be able to have got to this point without this game. And I wouldn't be able to have you guys, which I am so grateful for, without this game. And I do want to just take a little moment and say thank you guys again. And I'm going to probably keep saying it for a long time, but I truly, if you said a year ago that I'd be at 1,000 subscribers and doing all of this stuff and being like having an actual consistent audience that watches my videos, I would be like, what? Are you serious? Dude, I'm getting like one view every 24 hours. Are you serious, dude? You're lying. Yeah, there's no way. I'm getting a view, maybe. And yeah, it's a little hard to not get emotional here, but nice. So let me close with something. I want to do something special. Yeah, if you don't already know, this is how it looked like. I did it at like 200 subs, I want to say, just give or take. Where I was just like, this is what I look like. I made a YouTube community post about it, and I did it also on Twitter. I was like, hey, this is what I look like. But if you didn't already know, this is how it looked like. So yeah, it's just been an amazing experience that, like I said, I just think it is fair to say I would not have been able to get this far without Dokkan for sure. And I'm, like I said, I'm forever grateful for that, from not only Dokkan but also you guys, obviously, because where else am I gonna find a community this nice talking about Goku? God, Goku. No one else is gonna be this accepting. No one. You know, I don't even think like Xenoverse, for example. I don't know if like even God Goku would be a meta in that. They don't have any God Goku things in fighters unless you get mods. Legends is dead with God Goku since year one, which is really sucks because I used to be a mega God Goku fan with the red one, because I always liked the kind of like 3 times charge with the Kamehameha, like the 3 pan shot, I guess you could say. It was really cool. But yeah, it's hard to know what to say. I've always had an issue with that, right? But like I said, I just want to take this time at the end of the video to just talk to you guys and just say thank you. It truly is the world to me, and each and every single one of you. I appreciate all of you. You all have my deepest thanks for getting me this far, and I hope that you guys are ready to see me go even further. Even further beyond, if you will. But yeah, if you personally ask me what I think, if you should play Dokkan or not, like I said, just be aware of the little evilness of like I said, the gacha system. But what game doesn't have a gacha system at this point? That's Dragon Ball. It's like Fighters and Xenoverse, and that's it. You got Breakers, you got Legends, you got Dokkan, who all have gacha systems. But if you look past the gacha system and you just play Dokkan to have fun, I think it's a really cool experience, and I think it's something I wouldn't trade for the world. And I wouldn't trade you guys for the world either. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you, and I like I said, I would probably play Dokkan. If you haven't already, that is. But yeah, it's funny too, because you guys don't even get to see this, and who knows if I'll do this more often. But something I always like to do at the end of every single video, even though no one's watching, the camera's always off, I always like to do this little thing where I go, thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Thank you as always, Will, for being a member. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.